The federal immigration crackdown in Minnesota is ending. President Donald Trump's immigration chief, Tom Homan, says the operation will wind down, but the anger it has triggered is still very raw. And the wounds this campaign has left behind may take years to heal. For weeks, federal officers flooded parts of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Teams from Immigration, Customs Enforcement and Border Protection carried out what the White House described as targeted arrests of criminal offenders. The scale of the crackdown sent shockwaves across America, but the communities affected say their spirit was never crushed.
It's hard to talk about silver linings, but I think, one amazing thing that came out of this was just how strong our community can be here, and the level of organization that we were able to achieve was really incredible. And I hope that doesn't end with this surge.
When the Trump administration uses federal agencies to basically terrorize its own citizens and act in totally unlawful ways, it's very depressing. And I fear for our democracy.
So even as the Trump administration moves to end this operation, Minnesota is still coming to terms with the disturbing events that unfolded. This is a state that saw the death of 2 citizens who were shot at point-blank range by ICE officers. It also witnessed the detention of a 5-year-old child. On Thursday, Tom Homan said President Trump agreed that the surge should conclude. More than 200 people were arrested for interfering with federal officers, Homan said. He did not provide figures for how many migrants were detained or deported, and insisted the Twin Cities are now safer.
With that, and success that has been made arresting public safety threats and other priorities since this surge operation began, as well as the unprecedented levels of coordination we have obtained from state officials and local law enforcement, I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude. A significant drawdown has already been underway this week and will continue through the next week.
In response, Minneapolis Governor Tim Walz has urged people to be cautious in the coming days. Politically, the timing does matter. Trump won re-election in 2024, promising aggressive immigration enforcement. But weeks of viral footage from Minnesota and mounting criticism from Democratic leaders and some Republicans has dented approval ratings. In the tense Congress hearing, Democrats held up photos of Renee Good and Alex Pretty, the 2 Americans killed during raids in Minnesota. The ICE leadership is equally under fire, with the acting director facing calls to resign.
We're a nation of laws, and you, your boss, Secretary Noem, and Donald Trump are not above the law. The American people are angry, and they're demanding accountability and justice from those giving the orders. Mr. Lyons, yes or no, do you believe that Secretary Noem should resign?
I'm not going to comment on that, sir.
So you're going to look the families of Renee Nicole Good and Alex Pretty in the eye and tell them Secretary Noem should keep her job after their loved ones were killed?
Sir, the loss of any life is unacceptable. In the heart, my heart, prayers and thoughts go out to anyone who tragically losing his life, especially a child, since I've suffered personal loss in my life. But I'm not going to comment on an ongoing investigation.
Well, at the same time, funding for the Department of Homeland Security faces uncertainty because Senate Democrats have blocked a spending push tied to the crackdown. So pulling back in Minnesota may ease the pressure. It may also allow the administration to reset the narrative, shifting from confrontation to control. Homan hinted that ICE officers could be redeployed elsewhere, but no details were given as to where. For Trump supporters, the operation proved the administration is serious about enforcement. So is this drawdown the end of the book or just the start of another chapter?
He rebuilt Egypt's pride after defeat. He turned victory into legitimacy. Then he chose peace with Israel. He broke an Arab consensus. He challenged his own military. He silenced his critics at home. But then, one day, on a national parade ground, in front of cameras, in front of the world, gunmen stepped forward and killed Anwar Sadat. It changed Egypt overnight. The assassination, Saturday at these times, only on Firstpost.